Being frustrated after a losing trade is totally normal. And by the way, you should be frustrated. Of course, you're losing money. This is money that you put on the line for you to trade. So losing it is totally okay for you to feel frustrated. But what you do after the frustration, what you do after closing that trade is what makes a difference between the profitable trader and the non-profitable trader. The big question that you need to ask yourself is, what do you do after a losing trade? That is what makes a difference. Losses are part of the game and we cannot change that. Whichever strategy that you're using, whether it's price action, SMC, ICT, mention all of them, you have to face losses. And the fact that that is one thing that we cannot escape, now we need to go to the next step of how will we deal with the fact that losses are part of the game. So on these days that we face losses, what do we do? And the first thing that you need to do is to normalize the losing days. The goal is not to avoid losses. The goal is to manage losses. Up to date, I still have losing days, but the difference is it does not affect my account and it does not affect my mindset. When I say it does not affect my account, I mean that I risked something that I was willing to lose. The real problem why most traders struggle, it's because of the psychology part. Let's break down a little bit. Talk of revenge trading. Immediately when you take a losing trade, what you start thinking about is, how will I revenge this trade? And that is where you go wrong. You are not accepting the losses that you've taken. So what you're thinking about is, how will I replace these losses and how will I become more profitable? And there's where you go wrong. Another thing is over trading. You find yourself taking trades that you're not supposed to take. And this we discussed about overtrading on our previous video. You can go and watch it. It was very insightful. It will really help you. Overtrading is one of the psychological problems that will pull you behind. And most of the time, you will do it when you're on your losing streak. You want to take trades that are against your plan. You want to take trades that you are not even ready for. You're taking trades without a clear confirmation. You're taking trades which do not align with your strategy. Breaking your plan. When most traders are on losses, they tend to break the plan that is always there to make them successful. And this is one of the recipe for failure. Your trading plan is there to keep you in line, and you have to follow it, whether you're on profits or you're on losses. And that is one of the discipline part that you need to accept. It might look simple, but it's one of the hardest. It's something that, yes, you've written down. You have to follow your plan, you have to follow your risk management. But now when you're on losses, a lot of emotions might run through you that you're not able to control. You need to keep your trading plan in line. Emotional decision making. A lot of times is when you find yourself making decisions emotionally just because of how you're feeling and how frustrated you are. And that is one of the mistakes. One of the biggest mistakes, by the way, that you can make, because you're no longer thinking logically, you're thinking emotionally. One loss can make you make a very bad decision in your trading journey. Let me take you step by step on how you deal with the losing days. Step 1, accept losses quickly. You should not fight the market. You should accept that you're on losses, close the trade, and get back to business. You need to stay in control of your business, not the business to control you. So the losses should not control the outcome of how you'll behave. Step 2, stick to your risk. And this is the most important part, because if you risk something that you're willing to lose, automatically the loss will not haunt you. Risking 0.5 to 1% per trade is something manageable. That means if you're having 3 consecutive losses, that is something like, let's talk of 1%, that is something like 3% overall. It's something that you can get back to profits. If you're risking properly, a losing day should not put you down. Step 3, stop trading after a certain loss. I usually say this, after 3 or 2 consecutive trades that you know very well you cannot handle anymore, take a break. You will not break any rule if you take a break. Instead, you'll be helping your psychology to become better, because you'll get back to the market when you're a little bit calm. So whenever you take consecutive trades, let's talk of 3 consecutive trades or 2 consecutive trades that you know very well you cannot handle, get off the charts. Discipline is knowing when to stop and not just when to enter. Step 4, review, don't react. Always journal your trades. This is something that you might take lightly, but it will change a lot in your trading. Every time you go on losses, you need to journal, and not only journaling that maybe you went on a negative $150 or negative $1,000. You also need to journal your emotions. How did you feel? What rule did you break? Did you overtrade? Did you revenge trade? Why did you go on a loss? Did you follow your strategy? Did you follow your plan? Those are details that you need to write down. After reviewing everything, you'll automatically understand where you went wrong. Sometimes you're not the one who is on the wrong. Sometimes the market just went the way it wanted, and it's totally okay. Now, that is the part of reviewing and not reacting. Up to date, I usually go on losses, but one thing that makes a difference is that the losses do not define me and they do not define my journey, because I usually understand if I'm taking a trade, most of my trades are risk to reward of 1 to 2 or 1 to 3. If I had maybe 2 consecutive trades and I take one good trade, I automatically know that I'm back to break even. Now that is a game changer, because I never reacted on the losses that I took, but what I did, I got back to business and got things right. What will help you to improve your performance and to help you to become a winning trader is when you focus on weekly performance and monthly consistency. When you come to review your trades monthly, you need to see consistent trades on how you took the trade, strategies that you use, the risk that you also used. They need to align. And if they are not, then you need to understand that there's something that you need to improve so that you reduce the losses that you've been taking. I will say this again and again, losing days should not define you. What defines you is how you respond to them. If you respond to the losses positively, the outcome will automatically become positive. If you control your risk, if you control your emotions, you'll stay in the game enough to win. I know having losing trades is not easy, and feeling frustrated also is not a good feeling. But what I've just shared is one of those best ideas that I usually use whenever I face losing trades. And it has really helped, by the way, because the losses no longer affect me. Why? I risk properly. So every trade that I take, I make sure that I risk 0.5 to 1%. Another thing is that what I'm risking is what I'm willing to lose. That is one part that you need to be comfortable with. If your 0.5 or 1%, let's say, is $500, $300, or $1,000, you should be willing to lose that amount of money. If you're not willing to lose that amount of money, then reduce your risk. It's okay for you to risk even 0.2%, 0.3%. It's not a must to risk 1%. If this video was really impactful, just leave a comment. What do you do when you're on a losing streak? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you on the next video.